I recently posted some information around myself coming off antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication, and I wanted to just quickly reach out and respond to the really kind messages that I had from it. It's amazing, isn't it? Oh, and just ignore this bit. It's a scratch. It's fine. Um, I just wanted to a couple of things. Who'd have thought? She always comes across so strong and confident, and you'd never think that she would be on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication. But I was really unwell, and it's only on reflection now that I'm the other side of that phase of my life. Really important to understand it's a phase for many, that I didn't realise how poorly I was, and it still triggers sometimes. So when I reflect, and it's quite triggering talking about it. So it's been 4 months since I've come off antidepressants, and then everyone goes, "Oh my God, that's really amazing." It's a bit like losing weight, it's had that kind of effect on people. But I did. So I was in my mid-40s, 44, when I had my first major anxiety attack, proper brown paper bag job, and I should know better. Worked with lots of clients over the years that have dealt with mental health issues, and I had a lot going on. I had a thriving business that had huge pressures on it, massive team, so I had to hit the bills every week, every month to feed the people. And of course I go to the GP saying I've got this new anxiety, and for 3-4 years I was pushed down this journey of you've got a lot on, it's your life laundry. But actually I was in perimenopause, so the antidepressants weren't really helping as such, except for numbing my sensations in my body. And I think that's one of the things that I experience now that I'm the other side of it, that I feel again. I'm tearful, I cry at everything, in a good way. I feel things. But I had a really tough time, and why I'm doing this little film, I really had no sort of purpose in it other than you're not alone. So if you are somebody that has gone, "Oh my God, I've got admiration for her because she's come off them. I wish I could too," or "I need to know more because I might be somebody that is dealing with anxiety." All of those things, do you know what? Talk. Talk, and share. Yeah, most women that I come across these days are highly functioning, trying to hold it all together. And really and truly, the best thing you can do is talk. Talk to a professional, talk to somebody like me, from experience. But I would always then say, talk to a professional, signpost you forward, take you forward. There is no shame in having concerns around mental health. I have to say, it's all very well and good me saying this stuff, but yeah, I carried a lot of shame for a lot of time. And I think the other thing about mental health, now I've come out the other side of it, it took a long time. You don't have to stay on antidepressants forever. You don't have to be labelled with mental ill health forever. The bottom line is everyone has mental health, and it's like this straight line. This is one side when you're all fine and well and healthy, and you don't need any diagnosis or any medication. And then down the other side of the sliding scale is when you are looking at medical interventions and diagnostics, and the severity increases as you go down the scale. So mental well-being is a different sliding scale. And what we want you to be is, and that's really an area that people like myself can really focus on, because we want you in a high place of good well-being. And so we need to maybe change things, alter things, add things into your lives to bring you joy. And that can be from a menopause point of view. That could be taking the right medication to support your hormones. It might be that you start exercise, you sleep better, you get some sunlight. All of those things will add to your well-being, not necessarily your mental health. So, but if you are fixing your mental health with the right medication, meditation, things that give you joy, it will help to build that wellness slide as well and put you into the right place, doing all the right things by it. The other thing is it can be very triggering. You know, if you're somebody that is dealing with it and trying to cope with your own, it's quite hard when other people are dealing with it around you. So, you know, boundaries are really, really important. And this is what I mean about talking. If you talk about it, you then get to a point where you can talk about it and set boundaries for yourself, so you're not taking on other burdens. Now, that's that bit. Now, there's another backstory, and it's not really to do with mental health as such. It is about mental well-being. And I'm a Catholic girl, and I actually did my mindfulness and meditation training at 21. And my mum was a little bit mortified at the time, because at the time the person that I did my first chakra course with was a spiritualist. So it's a really weird story how I got there. That's another day. But the point is, they taught me to use breathing techniques to manage my stress, use breathing techniques to help me to close down my exposure to other people, setting those boundaries, if you like. And it was a really interesting time in my life, because I felt, because I'm an empath and I spend a lot of time giving, that actually I was giving and not actually protecting myself at all. So some of you might actually connect with this. So I learned how to close my my chakras, shut my create boundaries around myself, to stop myself pulling in everybody else's energy. Because sometimes when somebody's energy is too powerful or too negative, I will take it on board, and ultimately that will show itself in ill health for me. So having those boundaries in place, doing meditation, doing mindfulness, using breathing techniques to just like refocus yourself is probably the best thing you can do to support your mental health. Now, I can teach you how to do that. That's absolutely not a problem. Or it might be something that you didn't realize how important it was in your life, or it might be against the things that you believe in. It's a bit woo-woo, but actually, the science, the human body needs to switch off, shut down, reset itself, power down. It's supposed to do that in order to let the brain and the nervous system reset. So it is a good thing. So if you have any more questions around mental health and anxiety, I am more than happy to have this conversation with you. I seriously, behind the scenes, had so many messages, which was just so wonderful, and you've all got so many questions, and I know that. So I thought I'd just try and get as many as I could in this short film. What are we, less than 10 minutes? And finally, taking life seriously is a big thing when you are dealing with your mental health. And I definitely find the joy and the silliness in things. The only person that gets in your way is you. And when you start to put yourself out of your own way, it's amazing how many opportunities and how many wonderful things happen to you in your life. So anyway, that's me, Helen@icaramove.com. If you want to message me, I know you message me on social platforms as well, but feel free to join in this conversation. Now, mental health isn't for life. That's wrong. Mental ill health It's not for life. You know, if we get the right balances and the right tools in place, we can support that really well. Mental well-being is a thing that we can really work on, and we can do that in multiple ways, about managing your hormones, managing your activity, your sunshine, your sleep, your stress, all of those things all links. So anyway, that's me. Thank you for listening.